What's going on, everybody? Urban Grower Supply, hit honcho. I'm not in the farm today. I'm out in nature. Had to travel quickly for a funeral today, but that's not going to stop me from sharing some different sort of information today that is directly relevant to farming. We're going to talk a little bit about why I got started farming, why I think you should start growing food, and then I'm going to talk about the mindset that will allow you to be successful in growing food or any other endeavor that you feel to be worthwhile in your higher and higher unfoldment or achievement in life. All right, number one, why did I get started farming? And I appreciate everybody who's joined in so far on this lovely Sunday morning. Number one, I got started farming, growing food at home. Yeah, I call myself a farmer because I can. So I believe that it is a responsibility and that we bear to be able to care for ourselves, for our basic life needs. And though we may not be able to do all of them, one thing we can do is control food. When it all boils right down to it, there's really only two things, well, really, in my opinion, three things that we gotta have. Number one, we gotta have access to nutritious food that we can trust, hence growing your own food. Number two, we gotta have access to clean water. We gotta stay hydrated, and we gotta stay with nutrition. We absolutely have to have those two things, or in a natural sense, our life will cease to be. And when you grow food, you really do help to support, particularly when you grow food indoors using controlled environment agriculture, you stand to help the availability and generation of clean water. Why? Because plants are fantastic filters. They are able to, plant and fungus, might talk about mushrooms and might not, and not the psychedelic ones like the regular ones. So when you plant plants, their roots go down into, whether you're growing hydroponically into your water tray or aeroponically, or if you're growing more traditionally in soil, they go down into that soil and they extract water from that soil that they use for their own lives. And then through that process of extracting water from that medium, they respirate water and oxygen, two things that we need, back into the air. And this helps us to get access to the fresh water that we need. Those plants are attempting to take nutrients from the water, from the soil, and the water is the medium through which they get the nutrients that they need. So that's number one. Number one is, I believe that we need to be more food independent and support access to clean, fresh drinking water for ourselves. Number two is, I live in South Dallas County, Texas, which is notorious for being a food desert. And I got tired of just hearing about it, and I wanted to do something about it. So I started growing food at home. People are often shocked when I tell them I can grow 80 to 100 pounds of food in a 6 square foot space in a spare bedroom in my house each and every month. That's what microgreens and controlled environment agriculture will do for you. You don't need as much water. You don't need as much space. We're going to optimize our growing conditions for the plant that we want. Now, here's the thing. People say, well, is it expensive? Well, if you're like most Americans, you already live indoors, and that's a blessing. And you're already using climate control. You're using air conditioning. It doesn't take any additional of those resources. I already have a home that I live in, and I already use air conditioning for my personal comfort. Well, now I can use part of that resource to support the development of the plants that I'm growing inside. So in that space, growing again 80 to 100 pounds of food each and every month. And if you've never tuned in with me, I show you guys how to do this almost every day. I just happen not to be at the farm today. I'm traveling for a funeral here in a couple hours. I need to attend, hence why I'm already dressed for the occasion. So, I got tired of just talking about the food desert and not being able to do anything. What's going on, bro? Whereas now it's about doing something about that and supplying food for my family and for my community at large. So that's reason number 2. Let's move on to the next topic. The next thing why I think you should grow food is for your own fulfillment and enjoyment. It's just something I enjoy. And I think if you try it out, you either find out you do or you don't. But if you do enjoy it, the enjoyment of something is reason enough in and of itself to continue and to expand your competency in doing something. So whatever it is for you, if it's farming, you're in the right place. I want to help you and teach you. If it's something else, do that. Now let's talk about the mindset that will help you be successful in farming or any other worthwhile endeavor for that matter. Is you have to decide that you're going to resolve. One, you have to decide what you want to do, and then you have to resolve to do what is required to achieve those outcomes that are important to you. All right? So number 1, if you want to farm or do anything else in your life that's meaningful and important to you, decide what you want. And I mean get crystal clear in your mind. Do you want to farm? Do you want to earn more money? Do you want to have better relations with your spouse, with your children, with your community? Do you want to have a deeper relationship with your God? Whatever it is for you. Number 1, you have to decide what you want. You know, a lot of times why people can't achieve the things that they want is because they haven't decided what they want. So it's really hard to get somewhere if you don't know where you're trying to get. And that's just how it is. Number 2 is you have to resolve to do what is required. Now notice I didn't say do your best to get what you want. I said resolve to do what is required. Yeah, garden boxes are great. They're great. I think you should utilize that. If that works well in your environment, maybe you don't have the best quality soil available to you. That soil needs to be regenerated. Build you a raised bed garden and fill that with the proper substrate for what you're growing. But on the topic at hand, you have to do what is required and not your best. A lot of times we'll feel that we're doing our best, and doing our best is just that. It's just a feeling. We'll say, I've gone as far as I can go, and I didn't hit the mark. I feel good about that. And I think that's great to always do your best. So this is not like a disparaging thing, but it's very different than doing what is required. So when I wanted to get started farming, for years I did my best. And my best was thinking about it and coming up with the reasons why it wouldn't work for me. Until I resolved to do what was required. And what was required was for me to get just enough information to know how to get started. Then number 2, I had to go get the items that were required to get started. And number 3, I had to start. And starting was doing what was required to reap my first harvest. So I got my trays, I got a substrate, I got some seeds, I got a little light from Harbor Freight in my town, and I started growing. That was what was required for me to begin indoor farming. Yeah, I got started for less than $100. I didn't even get the proper hydroponic grow trays. I was just growing in some sterilite containers utilizing soil, because that's what I could do to get started right away. So as you can see, this mindset relates to any and everything that you may want to do that is worthwhile in your life. You got to decide what you want. Really get crystal clear what you want out of your life. You won't achieve what you want in your life if you're unclear about what you want. And then number 2 is you have to resolve to do what is required. And a lot of times doing our best, and here's the other thing about doing your best, your best will change over time. It will change moment to moment. Your emotional state will influence what your best is day to day and moment to moment. Your competency will influence that. So many influencing factors. However, doing what is required never changes. What is required to get certain results it doesn't change based on how we feel or what's going on with the world. Like if I want to get healthy, I might feel that I'm doing my best, but if I'm still unhealthy, I haven't done what is required. I haven't changed my eating and exercise habits. And then only until I do those things will I get the results that I want. Because you do what is required, and then the outcome that you desire is the only natural extension of doing what is required. And that's with anything. All right. Another thing is we will develop an attitude of simply thinking about what we want and thinking that is manifestation. Thinking about what you want is not manifestation. That's thinking. Manifestation is thinking about what you want and then doing the work required. Now, God and the universe will conspire to assist you. What's going on? I'm so glad that you're here with me. Is that God and the universe will conspire to help you, but you still have to do your part. Think of it this way. That think of your goal is building a Jenga tower or a Lego sculpture or Lego, whatever you call that structure. And, think as God and the universe as having provided the Legos and the table and your fingers and your strength. But it's still up to you to organize those Legos into the form that you desire. You already have everything that you need to do the things that you want. I like to study a lot of personal development and Christian Science things, and here's something that I found was very, very enlightening. It's this. The simple fact, people will say you can do anything, and then they'll say, well, will I be able to play ball like LeBron? Can I win as many championships as Tom Brady? I'm 46. Well, the thing is this, you can do anything, but you're not meant to do everything. You are meant to do specific things. So if you have a strong, burning desire to do something, that is evidence that you have the ability to do it. If you do not have the strong desire to do something, it is likely that you won't have the ability to do it. So while you can do everything, you're not meant to do everything. And that's the difference. So if there's something that you strongly desire to do, if it's growing food, like I said, you're in the right place. Just follow this page. I'm normally growing microgreens and showing you how to do that. But today, like I said, I'm out of town for a funeral, so I can't do that this morning. But I still want to get on here and talk about why I'm growing food, why I think you should grow food, which go hand in hand. And then the mindset around being successful in farming indoor. When you're starting out farming, don't get so wrapped around the wheel about how you're going to make money at it in those beginning weeks and maybe a couple months. Learn how to grow the microgreen or whatever it is that you desire to grow. That is justification in and of itself enough. Is that you were able to take a seed, which is natural. It has a natural ability to become a specific thing. And you were able to nurture that seed into its higher form. And watching that development will fill your heart with gratitude thanks, awe, and you'll have a sense of achievement and pride that will propel you forward in the rest of your endeavor. So that's number one. But then two is think of service. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years now. And a lot of times, like early in my career, I used to say, it's all about the money. It's all about the math. But that's only partially true. Money is important, and I'm not going to say that it's not, because money is important. Money is our friend and our tool to help us live the life we want to live and do the things that we want to do. However, as I've matured and I've met more successful entrepreneurs who've been doing greater things for a longer, sustained, consistent period of time, this is what I learned. They don't focus just on the money, or even on the money first things first. They're money aware and they're money conscious. They're grateful. They expect money to flow into their lives. However, they think about service. How can they serve their customer better? How can they understand what their customer needs in a more intimate and intuitive way? How are they best equipped to provide what their customer needs? How can they provide better resources, whether that's money, maybe it's support, assistance to their employees? So they think about service. There's a quote by Earl Nightingale that says this: if you help enough people get what they want, those people will have no problem. If you help enough people get what they want and what they need, those same people will have no problem helping you get what you want and what you need. So if you want and need more money, figure out how you can help more people get what they want and need that you are uniquely positioned to provide. So if it's food, grow food. If it's counseling, be the best counselor you can and help more people in a better way. If it's teaching, teach more people in a better way in your specific, using your specific gift. I believe it's better to pursue those vocations which you're naturally inclined toward, meaning you have the natural ability and talent to do them. And if you're unsure what your natural ability and talent is, well, that's fine. You at least have the ability to practice and develop and refine an ability. So, for instance, for me, my natural abilities are to be, I think, a suitable communicator. I'm able to take things that seem complex and get them simplified down. So I have to do that in farming. You don't see me get into all the semantics of why this thing is 3% better than that thing. The most important thing is that you're getting started, you're making progress. And part of that experimentation is for you to do anyway. It's not for me to do. And it's not because I don't want to, but it's because I don't know your goals. And I don't need to know them. That's for you to know. I don't know where you're headed. I don't know who you're serving and how you're serving. I don't know what's best for you. Only you can know that. But what I can do is be a supporting God, be a supporting friend, and we can support one another. We can grow together in the direction that we desire to go, which is, in my mind, I want to empower 100,000 people in this country to become small-scale agricultural producers, even if it's only for themselves and or for their families. But then if any percentage of those people become the farmers and are supplying the nutritional needs of their immediate communities, well, I would have been successful. We would have taken our food sovereignty back. We've become more self-sufficient as people in this country, so that we can supply such an important basic need, and that is access to nutritious, locally grown, sustainably grown, humanely grown, ethically grown produce. It's one thing when you are able to go to a farmer's market, to a market, and you know that you're supporting someone who's taken the time in their community to grow something that is needed in the community, to supply a need for the community. This feels a lot better. Also, that presents tremendous business opportunities. You know, growing microgreens is something that's easy, but you can make a great living at it. Or whatever you decide to grow, whether it's flowering plants, edible flowers, herbs, cooking herbs, or whatever, seedlings. If you can solve a problem, whether it's nutritional or productive for another business, you can earn a great income for yourself. And I believe that if I can help 100,000 people get into urban agriculture, be successful at it, have access to the information and resources that they need to be successful, that can create many, many thousands of 6 and 7 figure earners across this nation who would otherwise not feel that they had the ability to do so. So I want to help do that. So if there's something that you're interested in and you're watching, click the link in my bio after this, Urban Grower Supply, and sign up for my free list of resources so you can get started. If you want to start growing microgreens, I got a link in that bio as well so you can buy a home grow kit. I'll be able to ship that out to you next week. It has 2 trays, a couple substrates, a couple packs of seeds that are perfectly portioned for the tray, and a spray bottle. So all you need is filtered water and a windowsill with light, or with natural sunlight. Or if you want to go on Amazon and buy a grow light, when you sign for that list of free resources, then you'll have a link to go buy that light. You don't have to search. You can just use what I use. Yeah, y'all, I appreciate your time this morning. Got nothing but love for you. I wish you all the best. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy. Keep growing, keep going, keep moving and grooving until we meet again. I'm out of here.